Welcome to episode 153 of Regen Rovers. We're having a fine old season, if I do say so myself. And in today's episode, we're going to be playing our last Europa League group match against Molde. Is it Molde? I mean, I've gone on a pronunciation website just to check. I'll just show you actually. And will this work? Will I be able to record the audio at the same time? Listen to this.
Molde, Norway.
Molde. The English pronunciation is absolutely hilarious because I clicked on this one, then the Danish, then I clicked on English.
Mouldy.
It's just such an English sounding woman's voice as well. Oh, brilliant. Anyway, since you last left me, we've had a good time. In the last episode, of course, we managed to draw 0-0 against Wolves and we beat Hapoel Tel Aviv 2-0. Plenty of games played since then, a 2-1 win against Bournemouth. This was the first goal of the game. We did dominate, and we really should have won by more than just 2-1 because they only had 3 shots, but they managed to score a goal. That was a fantastic strike with Van den Broek's left foot. And Luke Clark scored not long after, and after that, yeah, a little bit disappointing. I was hoping we could push on and thrash Bournemouth, but they did get a goal back in the end. A really good, actually no, I was going to say a really good 6-0 win, but we actually lost the next game 2-1 against Liverpool. Frustrating match. It was frustrating because Liverpool aren't particularly powerful these days. They had a very good time a few seasons ago, but they've not been quite as good lately. It was a fantastic goal from Agra, but in the end that was, in the 94th minute. We couldn't get an equaliser after that. So yeah, I'm a bit disappointed with that result. But it was away from home, to be fair. 6-0 thrashing over Hapoel Tel Aviv. Anthony got a hat-trick. Torsten Lenz got 2 goals. Loader got a goal as well. Let's have a look at Anthony's hat-trick goal. We were all over them. And I played a Cora in goal. I put out, a second-string team, our third-choice goalkeeper. And we had 37 shots. A couple clear and half chances as well. We were just magnificent in this game. Gave a real confidence boost to some of the players that don't play as regularly. This was the hat-trick goal. Lovely ball through from Agra, who I must say has impressed me. What a win this was against Man United. We lost against Liverpool, but we managed to beat Man United. Unfortunately, Navarrete picked up an injury. Pretty much the whole team was sensational, but Matt Smith got 2 assists in this game. The first one, look at him. He just smashed it long, hit and hope ball over the top. Anthony got on the end of it brilliantly and then finished expertly with his left foot. He's our top goal scorer. Mark Ball came off the bench and scored as well from a corner, which is always nice to see. Matt Smith crossed it in, and Mark Ball, poacher. That's what he does best. We then lost 2-1 against Chelsea, so it's a bit up and down in the league against the big teams. 2 defeats against two of the big teams in the Premier League and a win against Man United, which was really the toughest game because I think they were top at the time. Our goal scoring centre-back Rios managed to get another goal. Matt Smith is picking up assists. I don't know if that was that an assist? It was, yeah. So he's getting lots of assists this season, probably because of those short corners, but also from some long punts over the top as well. Back to winning ways against Marseille, a 3-1 win. Torsten Lenz had a bit of an iffy start to his Regen Rovers career, but I think he's started to come alive, particularly in Europe. And he's got, I think, 2 or 3 goals. He got 2 in the last European match, didn't he? And he got 1 in this one as well. And this was a lovely finish with his left foot. Yeah, good stuff. Aloisi got a goal, a German, who's on loan from Dortmund, of course. Seems to have a good understanding with Agra when they play together. Really good finish with his right foot into the bottom left-hand corner off the post. And Thomas Gregory came off the bench to score his first ever goal for the club. He's 20 years old. He was out on loan at Ebbsfleet last season, got 13 goals in all competitions, 11 in League 2. And he's played a couple Hampshire Senior Cup games for us, but hasn't managed to score previously. So yeah, it was a bit of an injury crisis because Navarrete and someone else was injured. So we brought on Thomas Gregory towards the end when I was winning. I thought, let's give him a chance. And he managed to score. So let's have a look at his first ever goal for the club. Mark Ball with the assist. It's a really good finish actually with his left foot into the bottom right hand corner. I like that. Good 3-1 win against my team, West Ham. They opened the scoring, but we turned it around. Sometimes the highlights are so long, I have to drag it all the way through. Okay, there we go. So, this was the first goal of the game. It was a fairly equal game, really. Similar possession, same number of clear-cut chances, but we were fortunate with a fluky goal there. Keeper smashed it into Anthony. yeah, we managed to get 3 goals in the end. But yeah, very fortunate with the first one. Second one, Matt Smith crossed it in, headed on by Van den Broek, and Rios scored again. And Christian made it safe in the second half. He's played well as well. I mean, all of the second string players have come in and done their jobs, I must say. I've been impressed with them. That's a nice finish. Lenz with the assist. Good work from him. And most recently, pretty poor 0-0 draw against Southampton. A little bit disappointing. Now, going into this last Europa League match, we have already qualified. There's a chance we won't top the table, but we'd have to get thrashed by Molde, and Marseille would have to win significantly as well. So I think that's unlikely. This is the team I'm putting out. It's kind of a mix of first string 11 and a second string 11. So we've got a second choice striker partnership up front, Mark Ball and Sefet Kalechi. Durange's injured, by the way, so he's our 5th choice striker. He's only played 3 games this season. Navarrete's back from injury. Anthony's obviously back from injury, but I'm not playing him today. Not even in the team. So Smith in goal, Canadian Rodriguez, Rios, Rodriguez and Gale at left back, because unfortunately Matt Smith is out injured for a couple weeks and Kuz isn't registered for this competition. So we're playing Mark Gale at left back. Christian, Aloisi, Agra and Lenz. That's kind of our second string midfield. Lenz and Tusakovic are fighting for that first place on the left hand side. Lenz has done well lately, 5 goals, 4 assists. Tusakovic 3 goals, 2 assists in a few less games. So they've both been pretty good, really. So it's great to know that we're already into the knockout stages of this competition. Can we go all the way this year? I've got a good feeling we're flying in the league. I haven't actually shown you the league table. I'll show you at the end of this match. Overall, it's been a good season. There's been a few defeats in there, but most of them expected defeats. It's going to inspire some of the lads. I mean, some of these players are second string. I was thinking of playing a Coro in this one, but I'm going with Adrian Smith, first choice goalkeeper. You got to play him in the big games. I know we're through, but I don't know. I want to get a bit of consistency, I suppose, to the lineup as much as possible. I know I've mixed it up a bit today, which completely goes against what I've just said. We've won a penalty, and I mean, Lenz is the best penalty taker on the pitch. I think we'll go with him. If I'd played a Coro, then I'd have been able to give him a chance to score from the penalty spot, of course. Let's have a look at this then. What can the Austrian do? Up he steps. Good finish into the right-hand side of the goal. 6th goal of the season for him. Yeah, wasn't so sure about him at the start of the season, but yeah, he's playing well now. Just a short episode today. The main reason for me doing short episodes at the moment is time constraints from my point of view. If I only play one match, it's much easier to edit and upload it on the same day. If I'm doing 2 or 3 matches, I just don't have the time. Like, editing does take surprisingly long time because I watch the whole thing through. I have to cut things out, add things in. Yeah, it takes a bit of time. So I'm just trying to get through this season. I don't want to overlook this season because this could be a big year. We might win the Europa League. We might finish in the top 4 in the Premier League. But I'm just trying to have some shorter episodes to start with, as I've reiterated previously. And then, you know, I kind of want to get to the season where we're back in Winchester. And I feel like next year there's a chance we might be able to challenge for the Premier League. I don't think this year. I think this year there's a chance of top 4, realistically 6th, and maybe qualify for the Champions League by winning this competition. Here's Lenz, great stuff, really good work, good save by the keeper. And then next year, I think we can really push on even more because we're going to be back in Winchester, which should be a feel-good thing, and I still have plenty of money to spend as well. I think we've got a good team together, and we can continue to improve it. Anyway. Nice ball from Agra there, headed away. It's only 1-0 from that penalty. But we've been comfortable, haven't we? And there might be another chance here. Here's Safet Kalechi, probably the most disappointing striker so far this season. Agra does well again. Back to Mark Gale. Agra. Dictating play well. Aloisi. Has the shot. Decent effort. Did that clip the bar or just go well over? Not entirely sure. My eyes might have deceived me. Dominant display, but we haven't quite taken complete control of this game yet. I've noticed Mark Gale's a little bit tired. I'm actually going to play Henriquez at left back, out of position. Or maybe Canadian Rodriguez can go out there and Henriquez on the right hand side. Let's go with that. Henriquez, Rodriguez, Canadian Rodriguez. We've got a very Spanish back four. I haven't really Spanish. Oh, Henriquez is Portuguese speaking, but Rios, Rodriguez, and Canadian Rodriguez. Well, Canadian Rodriguez is Canadian, so I don't really. I mean, I assume he speaks English and French, maybe if he's from French Canadian, the French part. But he's got a Spanish-sounding last name, so he might be able to speak multiple languages. Here's a chance for Lenz. Almost gets his second. He's still going. He's persistent, isn't he? He's been bundled off the ball by about 4 players. Here's Ray Henriquez. Crossing it in. Mark Ball! Lovely flicked header. Great ball from our Portuguese right back, playing out of position. And, oh no, wait, he's not playing it. Why is he out on the left? I've moved him. I'm confused. Did I not move him? What's going on here? Why is he out there? It doesn't really matter. Maybe I'd taken a free. I can't remember. Nice flicked header from Mark Ball, though. Going to bring Serenity on the right-hand side. And I'm actually going to bring on Macaulay Simpson. Goalkeeper substitution. Why not? Let's give him some game time for the last few minutes. 2-0 up. You don't really see much of Macaulay Simpson because the matches I show, if it's not Adrian Smith, it's often Okoro that's playing, I suppose. But he's done alright as our number 2. I mean, that's a position we could probably improve next year. Adrian Smith maybe will become our number 2 over time. Although he's a solid goalkeeper. He really is a top-class Premier League goalkeeper in my opinion. Here's Kalechi, does well there. Into Aloisi. Charging forwards. Into Mark Ball. What's he going to do? He's played it back to Serenity. Decent cross in, and Kalechi misses from like 2 yards out. He's disappointed me a bit. He scored a couple goals, but needs to be better. Perhaps he's a player that brings other teammates into play rather than scoring loads of goals because he's a big man. Anyway, comfortable win, dominant display again, 24 shots, only one clear-cut chance, but we're through to the knockout stages of the competition. Canadian Rodriguez picks up man of the match despite playing left back in the second half. I will do an Ask the Manager. Let's just say well done to the lads. And yeah, let's answer some of your questions that you've sent in. But first of all, let's just have a quick look at how the groups have finished. I presume they've all finished. So Zenit, Schalke, Rangers, Ghent, Partizan, Besiktas, Chelsea, Sampdoria, ourselves and Marseille go through from Group E. Group F, Fenerbahce and Slavia Prague, Athletic Bilbao, Ludogorets, Liverpool, Kilmarnock going through. That's pretty impressive. Wolfsburg, Poznan, Napoli, Hajduk Split, Real Sociedad, Spartak Moscow, Braga, and I mean there's so many teams. And of course there's the teams dropping in from the Champions League, which makes it even more difficult. But I fancy my chances in this competition. I just have to because we've been magnificent, haven't we? Premier League then. We're currently 5th in the Premier League. You can see Adrian Smith has picked up the 2nd most clean sheets. We've been pretty solid defensively. Those defensive signings this year have been beneficial, that's for sure. 25 goals scored, 14 conceded. 30 points, from 16 games. We're 9 off Spurs. I really don't think there's any chance of winning the league. But there is a slim chance, or more than a slim chance, of finishing 4th, I think. We're actually 4 points ahead of 6th place Man City and 7th place Liverpool. We're up there with the big boys. We're having a great season. And that's our form. We drew the last game, so that's not right. In fact, the form's wrong. What's going on there? I don't know, because we've actually lost 2 of the... That's just wrong, isn't it? What's going on? I have no idea. Anyway, Ask the Manager. Let's go. First question then is from Phil Haddock, who asks, who is your favourite manager of all time and who is your favourite West Ham manager of all time? First question, I don't have a favourite manager of all time, to be honest. Second question, it would be Ron Greenwood and John Lyall because they're the managers that actually won stuff for West Ham, even though obviously I wasn't alive when they were around. In my lifetime, I grew up, the first manager I remember was Harry Redknapp. A little bit controversial, but was alright for us. Alan Pardew I like because of the passion and getting us promoted. I know he's controversial and blah blah blah. Bit of an iffy manager, but he was good for us at one point. Alan Curbishley I liked, Great Escape season, and I love Pellegrini because he plays attacking football and he could become my favourite, especially if he actually wins something for us one day. Second question, what's up with all the capitals? Did you notice that João Felix played for Chelsea against you? Can you tell us the future and see how he did in his career? Well, I can. Here he is, 35 years old, 130 caps for Portugal, 19 goals, still looks pretty decent. Played for Chelsea for many years, moved to them for £54 million. Eventually moved to Lazio. He's done alright, hasn't he? Rather good international career. Phoenix Gaming, which striker do you prefer to this day? Prime Agu or Mark Ball? It has to be Mark Ball. I mean, Agu's a legend, yes, but Mark Ball is next level. He really is. He's probably my all-time favourite regen on Football Manager ever. He's above Jack Young. Sorry, Jack Young fanboys, but he is above Jack Young in my eyes. Next question. Aaron Letterman. Do you follow Formula 1? If so, who is your favourite driver and team? I don't anymore. I watched it for a time. I quite enjoyed it at one point. I used to have it on in the background whilst doing other stuff. I would not sit down and just watch Formula 1 because that would be a bit boring. But in recent years, I've just not followed it. I just haven't. I quite liked Rosberg at one point. Obviously, that feud with Hamilton a bit, didn't he, in the end? Last question. Why don't you talk about real-life football sometimes? Players you like, your thoughts on 1920 season worldwide, etc. I suppose in the past I have done the odd video on real-life football, but no one was really that fussed about my opinion, so I really don't use Golden FM Twitter enough. I've got 20,000 followers and I just don't tweet from it. And most of the people that follow me are probably dead now. But I just don't use it enough. But in terms of videos, I suppose I could if people are interested, but there's so much stuff out there. I don't really watch enough real life football either, I don't think, to have a really good opinion on things, or a good representative opinion on things, I suppose. Maybe I will, but I say that about a lot of things, don't I? And I don't get round to doing them. Right, oh, Felix, hello. We'll end it there. Thank you for watching today's episode. A little bit of a short one, I suppose. I don't know, it might be longer than I thought with me rambling away. But yeah, 2-0 win. We're into the next round of the Europa League. We're flying in the Premier League. Next video, not entirely sure when it will be. I might play through to the first knockout round, to be honest, and that's when we'll start to have a few longer episodes, I guess, as we approach that second half of the season, or last third of the season by that point. But until next time, enjoy FM19, enjoy the rest of your day. I will see you very soon.